In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the Azer is described as a dwarf-like creature with brass-colored skin and flames instead of hair or beards. They were made of elemental chaos native to the plane of fire, and their bodies were said to give off so much heat that any non-fire beings close to them suffered searing pain. They typically lived within fortresses of brass and bronze within the elemental plane of fire, in a commune-style society that elevated warriors and those with the strength to fight, and were in a never-ending war with the Afridi of their native plane. The Azer has an AC of 17, which includes their bodies and a shield. They have 39 hit points and a speed of 30 feet. They have good stats across the board with no negative modifiers, and have a proficiency in con saves giving them a +4. They're immune to fire and poison damage and cannot be poisoned. They have the trait Heated Body, in which any creature that touches them or hits them with a melee attack within 5 feet is dealt 1d10 fire damage. They also have the trait Heated Weapons, which adds 1d6 of fire damage to any metal weapon attacks. They also shed bright light around themselves for 10 feet, and dim light for an additional 10 feet. They have one move in combat, an attack with their Warhammer, which has a +5 to hit and deals 1d8 +3 bludgeoning damage, a potential of 4 to 11 if used one-handed, or 1d10 +3, a potential of 4 to 13 if used two-handed. As a DM, I would always play the Azer as a warrior with a Warhammer and shield, only ever using two-handed strikes if the shield is taken away via player intervention. Like most other creatures with a damaging aura, I would close distances with ranged players so as to keep melee on the move, forcing them to continually take damage while also cornering the ranged players that can do actual harm to the creature. I would have them target the healers first, as the Azer is an intelligent warrior that can suss out those who might have magic that will make combat difficult. In my opinion, a party is more likely to face an Azer or other elementals at medium to high levels, so to make things more difficult, I would likely run the encounter with several Azer who will work together to corner and kill ranged players before turning on the melee players that take extra damage due to the extreme heat. In Mythology, the Azer was likely influenced by a 1920s entry in Lewis Spence's An Encyclopedia of Occultism, in which the mythological creature is described as, quote, an angel of elemental fire. However, Spence does not give any sort of source for this myth. My understanding, which admittedly is surface level, is that the Azer in Spence's writings is something of his own creation based on ancient Islamic religion and myth. The region of Azerbaijan in modern-day Iran gets its name from a Persian satrap, what we would probably call a governor today. His name was Atropates, and he served Darius III and then Alexander the Great, eventually founding his own kingdom. His name loosely translates to protected by fire, and Azerbaijan is known for its numerous fire temples and a strong connection to Zoroastrianism, an ancient Iranian religion based on the writings and preaching of the prophet Zoroaster. It's one of the oldest organized faiths in the world, and the particulars of its founding and founder are shrouded, as exact dates and written history are unknown or lost. Zoroastrianism itself is a monotheistic faith, focusing on judgment after death, free will of humankind, and fire as a central figure related to divinity and purity. It is here that Spence makes the connection when he states that, quote, Azer is also the name of the father of Zoroaster, linking the prophet to a divine creature or angel of Spence's own creation. In comparing the monster to the myth, we find little connection other than fire as a main theme. The Azer in Spence's myth is an angelic being of fire who apparently fathered the mysterious founder and prophet of an ancient Iranian religion, while the Azer in D&D is a dwarf-like elemental with no religious connections, living in brass and bronze forts in the elemental plane of fire. While it's possible the idea of the Azer was taken from the name Azerbaijan and the region's veneration of fire, I personally believe there is a deeper connection. Zoroastrianism is concerned with the fight for humanity's soul against demonic beings, and the Azer of D&D are in an eternal war with the Afridi, fire elementals heavily based on Islamic spirits and demons of fire and evil. If you enjoyed that video, please leave a like and comment below, and consider subscribing to the channel. You can also join the Patreon for $1 a month, link in the description below, to access videos days before they're posted here, as well as other exclusive stuff like short stories, videos, and more. For all of my other content, you can find me on Twitch at Moglaroo, YouTube and TikTok at Moglaroo Streams, or my website, mwjgilmore.com.